A quick way to grade essays is to use Orange Slice Teacher Rubric, a Google Docs add-on. What you're simply doing is going out onto the internet and asking it to add on something to the Google Docs. Once you've added it on one time, you are set and good to go. A little bit of a preview on it is found right there at the website. It has lots of benefits to the teacher. Seriously, it is just a rubric that when it loads up, it actually gives you a multiple choice type way to grade a rubric. When you actually process the grade, it will actually highlight on the rubric and put the grade in right up at the top in the title. So once you've installed it, you actually just go to a Google document, and at the Google document, you probably start off like you do all Google documents, give it a title. I'm going to call this one Orange Slice. That just to make it super simple, let's call it Orange. At that point, click Add On. You chose your add-on that you put in there, Orange Slice Teacher Rubric. To create it, you click Score Rubric. Later on, when you grade the students, you'll click Score Rubric. At this point, then, you wait for it to load. It might take a little bit to load. Sometimes it says working. Sometimes you'll see something going on down here. But this is what you're waiting for. At this point, a couple things to pick from over here on the right side. Pick descending or ascending. Go down to performance levels. I'll create my own. I like to put my points in mine. I always do a blank row. I'll show you what happens when you click some of the things that they already have. We'll just kind of make it an easy. Some people would like an easy one. Create rubric. Okay, that's how fast the rubric went over there. If you decided right here in this row you'd like to add more, you just plain use it as a table. For example, here's a rubric that I've done in the past. So I'm going to go to one I've done in the past, and let's say I want to add this part here. So I will just copy that. Previous rubric I did. Now right here, I will actually just paste that in. There it is. You can see that it pasted it in. At this point, let's say I've decided, this is just too much to work with. Like I said, work it like it's a table. Let's just delete that. The thing you have to remember is that at this point, when you're working on it, we were up here, we're customizing it here. Let's put our points in when we're customizing it. I'm going to start off here, telling you that the points on the top are what helps it know what your score is going to be. You have to give it numbers so it can add those up instantly for you. Don't mess with the rubric categories here. That needs to stay there so it knows what address you're storing this at. Now we're just going to tell it to score the rubric. At that point, you have a few more decisions to make. Because scoring the rubric means that you're going to have to pick whether you want it analytical. And analytical means it's using these numbers up here, yes. Holistic would have been the grades. So the total points here, as I've looked through, I have 4 columns. It's going to have to be at 100 points then total because of the 25. Once I actually click off of that, that will change that to the 0 to 25 points. I go down to finished, process grade. At this point, when you're actually grading someone's, now when you go to the add-on and you actually grade someone's and you click add-on, Orange Slice rubric, and you see that this is at the top of their rubric, that's going to be time to score the rubric. Let's give it that, as you can see, presentation, all that say that was just, there was a few issues going on. Voice felt very strong about it. Okay, that's how fast you're grading that rubric. Grade adjustments, I really like this part. Let's give it, this one was so well written, let's give 5% extra credit. Late penalty, plagiarized. This point, process grade. Process grade, you can see how it popped up. The points are in the title of theirs. I like to add anything you want to add here. It's a great place to add comments if you can type. or anything else you want to put there. It's unlimited. The only thing you do really have to remember to make it a little bit easier, be sure that there's two things to think about. You can give this document to them already. They just start typing their essay up on the top. That way the rubric's in front of them as they type their essay. You also want to remember that you don't want them to add their essay to the rubric. You want them to add the rubric to their essay. So other than that, any questions you have, we'd be glad to help you with it. Enjoy Orange Slice.